News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Dan Schwartzman. Pope Francis made his first public appearance today in more than 5 weeks as a pontiff was set to be discharged from Gemelli Hospital in Rome. The 88-year-old Pope addressed well-wishers after undergoing treatment for bilateral pneumonia. People began flooding the entrance of the hospital earlier this morning, while St. Peter's Square at the Vatican was filled with people who were able to watch the Pope's greeting on large-screen TVs. The Pope will be returning to his Santa Marta residence in the Vatican to convalesce. The U.S. is looking to reach a broad ceasefire in the Ukraine war within weeks, targeting April 20th, but recognizes that may not happen due to big differences between the positions of both sides. U.S. officials are set to meet separately with Russian and Ukrainian representatives in Saudi Arabia to discuss a truce, despite Russia making unrealistic demands, such as an end to arms supplies to the Ukraine, which the U.S. and allies have rejected. President Trump pledged before taking office that he could deliver a quick resolution to the 3-year-old war. A Turkish court has formally arrested President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's top political rival. Ekrem İmamoğlu, the mayor of Istanbul, was detained on corruption and terrorism-related charges, sparking anti-government protests and affecting financial markets, with Turkish stocks slumping and the lira selling off. İmamoğlu is seen as a formidable challenger to Erdogan if he runs for a third term and had been preparing to announce his candidacy for a presidential election due by 2028. Meanwhile, Turkish central bank officials will meet with commercial lenders' executives to discuss possible coordination with banks and to take stock of recent sell-offs in Turkish markets. Another government agency is seeing its ranks depleted. Bloomberg's Nancy Lyons has the latest.
The Small Business Administration is preparing to cut 43% of its workforce, citing Elon Musk's Doge as the impetus behind the employee terminations. These cuts come even though President Trump has tapped the Small Business Administration to take on new duties. He says he wants the SBA to handle the $1.6 trillion student loan portfolio that had previously been managed by the Education Department. In Washington, Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
ABC News is reporting that the Internal Revenue Service is nearing an agreement with Immigration and Customs Enforcement that would allow immigration officials to use tax data to support President Trump's deportation agenda. The agreement would allow ICE to submit names and addresses of suspected undocumented migrants lacking legal status for the IRS to check against its confidential database. The use of sensitive taxpayer information has alarmed career officials within the IRS. Israeli fighter jets bombed Hezbollah targets Saturday evening in a second wave of attacks, responding to rocket fire from southern Lebanon as a fragile 4-month ceasefire showed new signs of strains. Hezbollah has denied firing the rockets despite Lebanese troops discovering and destroying 3 rocket launchers. UNIFIL, the UN's interim force in Lebanon, said in a statement it was alarmed at a possible escalation of violence. As the world braces for President Trump to announce more tariffs on its trading partners next month, Chinese Premier Li Qiang says the country is prepared for, quote, shocks that exceed expectations. Li has called for countries to open up markets in the face of growing economic fragmentation and for businesses to share their resources more to combat instability and uncertainty. The Chinese premier was speaking to a gathering of global business leaders and visiting Republican Senator Steve Daines at the start of the China Development Forum in Beijing on Sunday. Target is cutting bonuses for its salaried employees as the retailer's sales and profit fell on soft consumer spending. More from Bloomberg's Charlie Pellett.
Sources tell Bloomberg employees are set to receive 87% of their eligible 2024 bonuses payable at the end of the month. A Target spokesperson confirmed the numbers. The big box retailer's bonuses apply to salaried employees in their corporate offices, stores, and distribution centers and typically max out at 175% of their targets. Eligible employees got 100% of their bonuses last year, doubling what they earned the year prior. In New York, Charlie Pellett, Bloomberg Radio.
That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Dan Schwartzman, and this is Bloomberg.